that now so I don't forget. Okay, so we've just started recording the session. So welcome everybody. I am Carol Leland and I am your program coordinator. So I'm the person that you come to if you have any issues that your actual tutor or the topic coordinator can't help you with. I'm the next go-to person. So I'm generally on campus and I am always available between about 8 and 6 every day. Not necessarily on campus all those hours, but I do have live email. I don't check email after hours, so just warn you on that one. Should bring up my speech bubbles in case anybody's, no one said anything. No one's even said hello. So what we're going to go through this morning, because you've missed out on the general orientation session, is I'm going to front load it with the things the university does offer you with, and then we'll start talking about the inclusive and specialised education degrees, which we call ISE degrees. And are there any Master of Teaching people in the room? Put your hand up if you're a Master of Teaching. So no Master of Teaching. What about early childhood? Have we got any early childhooders? Okay, so the three of you take notes. So Natalie, Sarah, Georgia, number 3, you are early childhooders. Primary? Oh, sorry, can the early childhooders put their hands down now, please? Okay, so we've got quite a few primary people, so lovely, which means the rest of you are our secondary. So there's 145 new people here who have enrolled altogether. So when you do come on campus, you will get to meet a lot of the other people, obviously. So I'm now going to turn my camera off and share my screen. So just bear with me while I fiddle around. Okay, can you see my slide, my welcome slide?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so yes, obviously, welcome to Orientation Week. So we have a reconciliation action plan that everybody who works here and the students are working towards implementing, and various colleges have travelled a bit further along that path, and I'm very honoured to be part of the Reconciliation Action Plan team here, where we are looking at our curriculum to decolonise it and really make it more inclusive of not just Indigenous people's perspectives and knowledges, but also other cultures. So for now, I would like to acknowledge and pay respect to the traditional custodians of the land upon which we meet. I'm on Kaurna land, you might be elsewhere. We would also like to acknowledge and pay respect to the elders of the land, both past and present, and that they have never ceded the land on which we are. So one of the first things you're going to need to organise is your student ID card, which if you haven't, I have seen a few new students coming onto campus in the last week or so. I recommend you do that as soon as possible, because it's something that you need, basically. You can't get around it. So you can select it by going online under the students.edu.au campus and ordering it, and I think you can upload a photo and it gets issued. Failing that, you can also head into Flinders Connect, which is in an area at the bottom of the Bedford campus that we call the hub, and there's a big, like an amphitheatre and grass and a big screen and where all the food and everything is, and you will find Flinders Connect in that area, as is the library above it. So 2 really important areas that you will get very familiar with once you come onto campus. Now, I actually can't see the chat room at the moment, so if you have any questions, you might need to just alert me to that. So, if you haven't already, you will need to enroll in your topics. So this you will find under the new student section of Compass. So Compass is where everything has been put for your ISE, and there's a lot of information there on how to enroll. If you're having any trouble, send an email to flinders.edu.au, ask or call Flinders Connect. I would probably send an email. The phone lines will be going a bit crazy, and there's a lot more people monitoring the email chat. So I would be doing that. But hopefully a lot of you have already enrolled, and I know I've helped a few students already who were having some problems. So I can also help you with that. I can't enroll you. That's something you have to do. And I don't see what you see. So sometimes it's a little bit confusing because your screen looks very different to my screen. And these people can help you a lot more than I. I can just sort of guide you what you should be enrolling in rather than how to do it. Some of your topics will have textbooks and others won't have textbooks. You'll find all the information you need are on this particular website. And you also get notified. So once you enroll, we have an online learning system here called Flinders Learning Online, or Flow, and all the information for each topic, it's separate. Each topic will have a separate Flow page, and on that you will be able to see what that particular topic requires as well. So for I topic coordinate 2 topics in 3rd and 4th year, and my 3rd year topic does not have a textbook. We've been able to find lots of resources online, but my 4th year topic does have a textbook at this moment because I haven't been able to find equivalent free resources. So there's a real mixture between the two. You know, some topics do. We really try, if we request you to buy or access a textbook, that we use them more than once. So there's one that you'll be using in your understanding, teaching and learning, for example, that is used again the next year, and then I also use that in your final year. So we try to use the textbooks more than once. If you have financial difficulties, the library will always have copies that you can either borrow in a hard copy, or there are online versions, and that would depend on the publisher as to what's available. So parking, you will need a permit to access or to not get fined if you come onto campus in a vehicle. And so you'll get your parking permit here. You can either pay on the day or you can pay for the semester up front. So if you head into this web page, all the information will be there to help you. We also now have a railway line that comes onto the campus. It arrives kind of next to the Flinders Medical Centre and the Ovals. I don't know if any of you have been to the Flinders Medical Centre before, but it comes in there, and then there's a loop bus that will either bring you up the hill or you can walk. So up to you. It's about once you get used to the campus, it's probably a 10-minute walk up the hill to the education building. But of course, not all of our classes will occur in our actual building. We could be anywhere across the campus. And the loop bus is what will help you get from the railway line to other parts of the campus if you don't feel like walking, or the weather's inclement, or you might have sprained ankle that particular day. So that's there for you. And that also takes you down onto the Sturt and Tonsley campuses. So just in our relative local vicinity, we have 3 campuses: the main campus, Bedford Park, where the education building is, the Sturt campus, which is down the bottom of the same property, and then just a little bit down South Road towards the city from Flinders is our Tonsley Park campus. We generally don't have any teaching that goes on at Tonsley. So scholarships, as this says, you don't need to be a top performing student to apply, so it's worth having a look here. you can get your fees paid for and maybe some topic support, it will certainly save you a lot of money in the long run. So an important link for you to be aware of. And if you're not successful one year, you can always apply the following year. So don't let that one drop off your radar. We have the EduRoam Wi-Fi here. So hopefully you've all activated your FAN by now, which is the first 4 letters of your surname and 4 digits. And hopefully you've created your own university password as well. So you will need that to access the Wi-Fi. And again, everything's available online for information, and there's the information on student.flinders.edu. So this week's orientation week, which is a really funny name because it's really orientation month. So we have this week when you should be on campus familiarising yourself where everything is and wandering around and just getting to know the lay of the land. And then for the next 3 weeks, there's all these different activities that will be occurring to help you settle into campus life, to help you settle into university life, and hopefully making some of those connections with your fellow students so that you start to develop that sense of belonging here on campus, because that's really important. There's an orientation planner to help you plan all your events and activities, so head to that website. I will email these slides out to you so you don't have to remember all of this straight away. We have the online welcome hub, so there's Ask Anything session chats so that you can talk with current students or mentors and staff, and so again that's through the orientation planner. They've put up a video for you, so again head to the orientation website and that will give you lots of information, as you can see on this slide. It's not just about actually studying here, it's about looking after your mental and physical health. You know, what do our grades mean? I remember when I first started studying and a friend of mine got a D, and she was devastated because she thought she'd failed, because at school the D would be a fail, and it was like, you got a distinction, that's the second highest grade you could get. And she went from being completely devastated to overjoyed, because all she was hoping was to pass, because she was a mature age student coming in, not really having high expectations on her ability to sort of meet the criteria of studying, because it had been a long time since she'd done any of that. So that was a real spur for her to, you know, keep going, motivated her to keep going. So it's really useful to understand what the assignments and the grades are, and how the grading system works, like what is expected if you want to be a high achieving high distinction student, for example, because you want to keep your options open for further study, or you're just a high achiever. So there's lots of different resources and lots of people who can help you with that work outside of your tutors. So if you're really struggling, for example, with an assignment in the library, there's the Student Support Lounge, and they are there explicitly to help you understand assignments and structure them, and with referencing and all that sort of thing. So there's lots of help here. It's very worthwhile finding your way at Flinders. It's, you know, it's a tricky campus when you first come here. Once you get used to it, you think, my goodness, it was so scary when I first arrived, and now you can find your way by cutting through buildings and knowing all the shortcuts if it's raining, and getting around from education to the physics building, for example. So it's really worthwhile doing the Find Your Way. I would do that to work out where you need to be to start off with. So if you've got a tutorial, for example, in Social Science North, I would be making sure I know where Social Science North is so that you don't get lost. And there'll be lots of people on campus who you can ask for help. And we often see this time of year people looking lost in our building, and we are very happy to direct you to a room or a floor, or sometimes it's a completely different building. So happy to help you. Please ask. So yes, lots of support is available. There is a link here that will take you to a video. Unfortunately, it won't run in this silly program. So I will encourage you to go and look at that yourselves during orientation week if you haven't already. We have an organisation called Oasis, which is there to support your student wellbeing. So that's pretty much their focus. So they're very much around the diversity of our campus, making sure that everybody feels welcome. If you are feeling a little bit unsafe for any particular reason, Oasis is here to help you. They also have different chaplains there from different religions to support your faith and spirituality. And then we also have some mental fitness workshops and mindfulness and all that sort of stuff. You can go in there and study if you need a quiet space and you don't want to go into the library. So again, it's worth going into, checking it out, and really getting to meet some of those people, because they are here to help make your 4 years or more of study here at Flinders University a really good, positive experience. So you will find in your first year that you will get a mentor in one of your semester 1 topics with a second year student. So we like to use student mentors because, you know, they know the things we forget to tell you, and they go, oh, you know, they often don't tell you about this particular thing. And so they're a really good person to go to if you're a little bit confused about something. If it's got anything to do with your actual study though, go to your tutor, your topic coordinator, or me. We often get students coming through saying, oh, you know, I talked to my friend and they said I could do this, and the information is incorrect. So get the information, if it's to do with your actual study, from the people that actually know, and all the rest of the stuff about navigating your way around campus and maybe any little shortcuts and stuff, go to your mentor. So we're really concerned about making sure that everyone here feels safe. So we have the online support. If you witness anything, you can email this particular email or make a phone call, or certainly head to the Student Equal Opportunity Advisor. And all reports are confidential. And we really want to make sure there is no harassment or bullying or any unsafe behaviour here. So please don't be a bystander, report it. We can't stamp it out if we're not aware. Okay, are there any questions about the general information I've literally just thrown at you? You can type it in the chat box. You can put your hand up to speak. I'm a special educator. I'm really good at waiting. No? Okay. So on to our particular suite of degrees. So we have 3 bachelor degrees in inclusive and specialised education and 1 Master of Teaching secondary. So I'm aware that there's no Master of Teaching students in this particular group today, but we do have some on board. So they are slightly nuanced. So the early childhood education, you're focusing on the birth to age 8 age group. Primary is reception to year 6, and secondary is now year 7 from this year through to year 12, and the secondary is obviously year 7 to year 12. So the early childhood and primary, you will come out with a English and mathematics curriculum specialisation. So it's not a major in the sense that the secondary will get, but you'll come out with that specialisation. Secondary, you get to choose your curriculum area from a range of majors. So hopefully you've already had a look and picked one that will complement your inclusive and specialised education major. So all of you end up with an inclusive and specialised education major, and all of you will be qualified to teach in both the specialised settings and the inclusive general education settings. The Master of Teaching, your curriculum specialisation depends on what your undergraduate degree was in. So if you, I mean, some of them are easy because you might have a chemistry degree, and so your major would be in chemistry. Some of them are a little bit tricky, and we've got to navigate our way through the topics that you had completed, and it might turn out that it's health, for example. So some of our nursing, I mean, nursing's probably not a good example because that's pretty clearly health, but you know, some of them are not so clear that we actually have to look at your transcripts and find out what they are. So if you're in the secondary and watching this video on delay, check what your undergraduate is in, because you will have to take curriculum studies to learn how to turn that knowledge that you've got into how to use that in your planning for teaching and learning lessons and units of work. So your degrees, if you are doing the Bachelor of Inclusive and Specialised Education, is 4 years or equivalent. So if you're part-time, that means it can take up to 8 years. Full-time is 4 topics per semester here at university. If you're reliant on Centrelink, which of course many of you will be, Centrelink recognise that 3 topics is full-time study and you still qualify for payments. But if you go less than 3 topics and you rely on Centrelink, it will cut out if you go below 3. If you go part-time, it is really important that you ask Flinders for a study plan to help you pick the right order of topics that you undertake, because we have historically had students that we call it create your own journey, and they end up adding years onto their degree because they have not followed the logical order of topics and ended up having problems with prerequisites. So that means topics you have to have done before you're allowed to continue, or they haven't been able to go on placement because they haven't done the right number of topics. So there's a lot of things that can impact you if you go part-time. So I implore you to please seek help if you are going part-time. If you're full-time, you can just follow the study plan, which I had up on my screen and I must have closed it. That was pretty silly. So just let me see if this link is going to work. Yes, so I'm going to swap screens for a moment. So just bear with me while I pull up a planner. So let's head into the primary one, just for example. So the primary, see the BIS, so Bachelor of Inclusive Specialised Education Primary. You can see here there's an overview of what your degree is, the fact that it's accredited. So all of you will be on completion, be able to register with the Teachers Registration Board of South Australia. The degrees are recognised across Australia, and if you want to take it overseas, sometimes you'll need additional conditions and other times they'll accept the current degree. You've all been admitted, so you don't have to worry about that. If you haven't already, I encourage you to check the inherent requirements, and so that's around the literacy and numeracy tests that you have to complete in your first year by memory. That rule keeps changing, so keep your ear out for information on that. There are general requirements. So for example, in early childhood, you need to be able to pick babies up off the ground and change their nappies and a few other things. So there are general requirements that you need to be aware of so that you are what we call fit for placement. All of you will be going out on professional experience, so there are specific things that you will need to be concerned about in relation to that. So there's vaccination requirements, there are first aid, there's working with children checks, there's a whole heap of things. So again, you will learn about these as you are preparing to go on placement. So you don't have to know it all now. We will certainly inform you more than once of what you need to do. So I encourage you to do that. There are some special requirements, so I'm not going to go through all this, and English language requirements, and they're mainly for our international students. This is what this particular course is aiming to have, and here's our explicit learning outcomes. But what's important is that you follow this program of study. So for our first year primary students, there are 2 semesters, and you need to enrol in both semester, and you need to enrol in these 4 topics. So it's pretty easy to follow once you find this particular page. And I encourage you to bookmark the page once you do find it, so that if you need to go back into it at any point, it's really easy to find, because sometimes the website can be hard to navigate. And so that is available for every year of your study. So now I'm going to swap back to the slides. So that's what we call the course rule, is what we find on that page. Are there any questions? I still can't see if there's any questions. No questions yet. All right, career pathways. So our early childhooders, our ECE. You've got long day care, kindies, junior primary. So they can all be general education settings. And then, of course, you've got the specialist educator. And the specialist educator works in special classes, special units, and special schools. But you also, and this runs for every specialist educator, and also you could be the special education teacher at the school that then works with all the other teachers. So there's different roles that a specialist educator can take on. For our primary and secondary teachers, you can become inclusive education primary teachers. So in the general education, or mainstream, as you might be familiar with calling it, and of course the specialist educator. And the same for our Master of Teaching students, so they're in that secondary band as well. So quick contact list. If you want to change, if you decide after a semester that education's not for you, talk to Ask Flinders. If you need a study template drawn up, Ask Flinders. It's pretty easy, isn't it? Not too many things to remember. I'm failing my topic, which unfortunately life gets in the way sometimes, and we're not able to complete all the requirements. It's really important that you talk to your topic coordinator. If we don't know what's going on, we can't help you. So, you know, our goal is to get everybody through, and we're really approachable, and we're really do our utmost where we can to help you get through. So talk to your topic coordinator. If you're failing a lot of topics, come to me, or if you are failing a lot of topics, I will be coming to you. If you have a disability, or you're a carer of somebody with a disability, we have what's called an access plan, and I encourage you to go to Health and Counselling and discover what that is and how you go about getting one, because that will help you, for example, get an extension on an assignment if you need it, or other things, without having to go through the hoops that the other people need to go through. So we're really aware that we try to make our education platforms as accessible as possible, whether you're on campus or learning online. And sometimes you might need, for example, we've had students here who've had hearing impairments, and so we have had to subtitle all our videos, and then we've also had to make sure that all their reading material, for example, is in a Word document format so that their equipment that they have can access all the materials that we're providing. So it's really important that if you need some adjustments or modifications to what we're doing, that you let us know, but you will also need an access plan. If you are unfortunately experiencing discrimination because of your disability, or you just need to talk to somebody, there's health and counselling, but Julie McMillan is also a person on the college staff and also a member of our team, and she can also support you. And there are a lot of social aspects here on campus, and I really encourage you to have a look at Flinders University Student Association, or more affectionately FUSA. You know, there's things from chess to religion to sport. I don't even know what else is there now. There's anything in between. So if you want to get involved in something that you're really interested in, and it's a good way to meet people, and there are often competitions between other universities, and they can be the World University Cups and all sorts of things. So if you're competitive or you just want to go out and meet new people, I encourage you to go to FUSA and check out what's available. If it's not available and there's enough of you who would like to create a new club, they can also help you with that. So don't let what's available limit what could be available if you're really keen to set something up. I encourage you to join our Facebook group. So it's the Flinders Uni Inclusive and Specialised Education Facebook group. So in this group, we often post just some quality information that helps you with your teaching, resources that will help with your teaching, just general knowledge. But we also post a lot of positions for part-time or full-time employment. So this is an important thing for you, because when you come towards the end of your degree, we often get jobs that nobody else has access to because of your specialised education aspect of your degree. So I encourage you very strongly to sign up to Facebook group, and there's our link. So the anticipated study load is, I can see that some of our team members are coming in, so hopefully we're nearly up to that point. If you are a full-time student in what we call a regular semester, so that means for you it starts next week and runs through to June, May, June, those long topics, it's anticipated that you have 9 hours per week per topic. So some of that 9 hours will be taken up with you watching lectures and attending workshops, but the rest of the time is your independent study. So you will be preparing for assignments, doing some research, undertaking your readings for the weeks. So 9 hours per week. I work in non-semester topics, and one of my topics started last week, so be careful of start dates. And they only have 7 or 8 weeks of study, and that load goes up to 13.5 hours per week. So be really mindful that if you're a full-time student, it's anticipated that you do the equivalent of 38 hours a week study. And it's really helpful if you diarise all of your commitments. So that's your work, your study, you're going to the gym, you're socialising, to make sure that you can fit it all in. And then if people come up and say, you know, think you're just sitting there doing nothing when you're actually doing some research for your assignment, you know, let's go to the beach, it's a great day. You can actually look at your diary and say, look, I'm sorry, I can't until 4 o'clock, and then I'm happy to head to the beach with you, or, you know, however you've created that. So really useful. So 9 hours per week if you're in what would be regular semester. So that links into those non-semester topics, which I work into. And we have non-semester topics because they are work you either do before you go on your professional experience placement, or, you know, when you, what used to be called student teacher experience. So my topics are leading into the final professional experience, but we have some that come after your professional experience. So again, this feeds into why it's really important, if you go part-time, that you get help with your study plan, because there are some topics that you can't take at the same time, you know, at the same time as being on professional experience because of the clashes. There are a lot of opportunities to be leaders. We have course representatives, we have mentors, there's the Bachelor of Education social group. What else is there? Just trying to think. Oh, there are, so the course representatives, they're really important people actually, because they become I guess, that connection between the students who are studying in the specialised education programs and people like me. And we talk about what the program might be needing, what's missing, what's doing well, where there might need to be support. So you get trained in either of these positions. The FUSA, the Flinders University Student Association, they give you free training, and it looks really good if you, you know, on your CV. And we have a Horizon program that you can collect all these mini certificates towards. And again, that looks really good on your CV, particularly if you have leadership aspirations. Might be a bit early for that, but some people have a pretty clear goal that, you know, in X amount of years, I want to be a principal. And so things like this would be really useful for you to undertake. So I encourage you to do that too. Maybe not this year, but, you know, next year when you've settled in. Okay, so hopefully, not sure who's here. Looks like Peter's dropped out again, has he? No, he's back. Okay, so this is me. If you arrived on time, didn't have any computer issues, you would have seen me before. So I'm the program coordinator. Kerry Bissica is giving another introductory workshop right now. So she's one of our acting deans. We have 2 acting deans at the moment, and she works really hard in our program and in the college. So she's an amazing person. Is Jane Jarvis with us? Yes, Jane.
Yes, I'm here. Do you want me to say something?
Oh, sure. I'm sick of talking.
All right. Well, I'll just say a quick hello and welcome, everyone. We're super excited to have you here in our programs. It's a fantastic program. You're so lucky to be coming in now, where we've been able to use some former students as guinea pigs, and now we've really refined things and developed what we think is going to be a really good program. So we're, you know, keen. We really encourage your feedback along the way, because we don't always get it right, and we're always kind of changing things. I will see most of you in EDUC 1236, which is the multi-tiered systems of support something topic. I think for in inclusive educational settings, maybe. It's brand new, so, you know, we'll be figuring it out together as we go. So I'll see some of you really soon in that one. And along with Carol, I also coordinate the differentiation for diverse learners topics, which come right towards the end of your degree. Most of you will take that in 3rd year or 4th year.
Third year.
3rd year for most of you, yeah.
Yeah, 3rd year after placement.
Yeah. So so we'll see you again then, and yeah, just, you know, I'll definitely reiterate what Carol says. Just get yourselves organised as sort of quickly as you can, and I would also encourage you to really support each other as well. So, you know, you might even choose to form like a little study group with a few of you who can sort of connect regularly, and you know, make sure you're sort of staying on track. That can be a really helpful way to go to just really use each other, you know, to support your learning too. All right, that's it from me.
Good advice, Jane. I remember very clearly the study groups we had when I was coming through, and it made a world of difference because everybody interprets things slightly differently. And it was just really good to get different perspectives, and, you know, people take different notes down, and you just, it's a lot, you get a lot more out of it, I think, if you do that.
Yeah, just talk through some of the readings and ideas. Sometimes that can really support your understanding if you're having to actually talk it through with people instead of just sort of trying to figure it all out on your own.
Very true. Okay, thank you, Jane. Who's next? Julie McMillan, have you managed to make it? She was having trouble this morning with other commitments, so she's going to try and make it. Not yet. Peter Walker is here. Hello, Peter.
Hello, everyone. Hi there. I'm your teacher in Foundations of Special and Inclusive Education, which you have semester 1 this year. I also teach another major topic, Relationships for Learning, which you pick up in the second semester of your 3rd year of study. I'm really excited about teaching Foundations of Special and Inclusive Education. It's the first year that we've taught it to all special education pre-service teachers and general education pre-service teachers. It's something that we've been wanting to do for quite some time, and we finally got it. So one of the challenges is that there are over 400 students in the topic, so it's quite a behemoth. We do start the topic slow and in a very supportive manner because we recognise that this is a big transition for you. You are beginning university life, getting used to university expectations and a whole lot of concepts that you might not have been familiar with. So in the first 3 weeks of my topic, there's a lot of support in terms of what are these skills that we're asking you to show. What do people mean when they're asking about doing APA referencing? So there's a real focus on ensuring that in those first 3 weeks, you are feeling at home at Flinders, you are not feeling discombobulated, that you understand what the expectations of you are. My topic, like all topics this semester, is one that's been designed to be very flexible because we don't really know what's going to happen in regard to COVID. As much as possible, we are going to want to have face-to-face as safely as possible, but we do also have some flexible options so that for those people that might be at close contact or unwell can still engage in the topic and be learning. My email is peter.walker@flinders.edu.au. I encourage you to send me an email if you have an early question. I'm also going to have some online drop-in sessions so that if you have a question, like I had an email yesterday actually from a student just asking about recommendations for kind of work-life balance and what do you suggest for fitting in study with work and so on. Any sorts of questions like that, you can come into one of my drop-in sessions and ask. There are no silly questions, particularly at the beginning of your degree, because it's all new. So we want you to ask the questions that you need to ask so you feel comfortable here at Flinders.
Peter, I have some questions about work-life balance. Can I come to one of your drop-in sessions too? Is it just for students?
You may indeed, Jane.
All right, thanks.
One little tip that I would recommend is for your lessons that are face-to-face, your workshops that might be face-to-face. Sometimes Flinders can be a bit of a rabbit warren, and it can be difficult to locate your rooms. When you come into Flinders for to get your ID card or part of your orientation, have a look around at the rooms that you are scheduled to do your workshops in, so you know in advance where they are. That can really help avoid feeling flustered trying to find a room at the last minute.
Good advice. Thanks, Peter. Yeah, really good advice to get orientated. We've had a few students wandering around looking lost in the last week or so, and they're just trying to, when we see if they want some help, they go, no, I'm just learning where everything is. So that's been really good. I also warn you that if you are driving in regular situations, the car park gets very full from 10 o'clock. So if you are looking to drive in and find a car park and get to your class on time, give yourself plenty of time, because otherwise you will also encounter a lot of fluster. Is Anne Bayetto with us? I know she was going to come in. Anne?
Yes, I am, Carol. Hi.
Oh, there she is. Hello, Anne.
Hi. Is it coming up?
Yes, you are.
Greetings, everybody. I'm Anne, and I have deep, passionate interest in literacy and numeracy. You won't work with me until a couple of years into your degree. There's a lot of groundwork and other framing topics that you need to do before we join up. But when I teach, I don't, for these topics, I don't do lectures. We have an intermingled lecture workshop, and we're looking at teaching you how to teach literacy and numeracy. What I tend to find is that a number of students are somewhat nervous about doing the numeracy topic because they don't feel all that secure in their own mathematics skills. But deep breathe, you'll be fine. This is not testing year 12 mathematics. It's talking about how to teach core fundamental mathematics numeracy concepts to students who are having difficulties. One thing I will alert you to, though, is that in every session that I teach, I'm going to read to you. So get your cocoa and get your hot cocoa, because you're going to do a read aloud. If you have any questions ahead of time, even now, about what I might be talking about and so on, then just contact me. But don't hold back. I'd much rather have questions asked than people to be left wondering. Thank you.
Thanks, Anne. Yes, so all of the early childhood and primary students will be undertaking 4 maths numeracy topics and at least 4 English. So you'll have lots of exposure to gain that confidence when you do head out into your schools when you graduate. And last but certainly not least, Leslie, I know you're here.
Hello everyone. Gosh, that's an old photo. Don't know where you dragged that photo up from, Carol. Welcome everybody. I look forward to working with you. Firstly, in second semester this year, I will be working with you in the educational psychology topic, where we're looking at using theories and concepts of educational psychology as a way to understand diverse learners and how they learn. I encourage you to look for the connections between all of the different topics that you're studying, looking for theories and concepts that overlap, and constantly being able to reflect on them and think about how they connect to you as a learner and to you as a pre-service teacher. You'll also meet me at the end of your course when you are looking at gifted education, because that's my particular area of specialization. So I'll be encouraging you to be thinking about how you're going to design learning right to the edges for all diverse students in all of the topics that you're looking at. So I hope you enjoy your start to the course, and I look forward to working with you at different times throughout. And as Peter said, the formula for our emails is firstname.lastname@flinders.edu.au. So send me a question if you've got anything that you want to ask. There's a chat line here on Collaborate Now if you've got any questions that you want to put into the chat, and I can answer you there. But yeah, enjoy. I think
Julie McMillan's just joined us. Thanks, Leslie. Julie, welcome. Julie Mack, is your mic working?
Is now.
Unmuting. Actually, everybody will get used to us starting to talk and the mic hasn't been turned on. So
can you hear me
it's a
now?
common problem. We can hear you.
All right. Do you want me to put my camera on?
Oh, only if you want, only if it's working. We've got your photo on the screen so they can see you. So Julie's the one in the middle with the long dark hair. Just a quick intro into what you do and...
Why can't I see myself?
Oh, you're right down the bottom because I'm sharing my screen, that's why.
Oh, okay. Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm supposed to just talk about myself, am I?
Well, talk about what you do, what you teach into, where they find you, when they will encounter you.
Oh, okay. So, hello, everyone. I'm Julie, and I teach in the undergrad and the postgrad programs, and I teach the AAC topic, augmentative and alternative communication topic. I think I will be, which you'll be encountering next year, I think. Is that right, Carol?
Yes, correct. Yes.
And I'm not sure if I'll be teaching the positive behaviour support topic, which you will encounter in 3rd year. Currently, I teach a 4th year topic, which is about designing personalised curriculum for students with disability, for students with complex support needs. And that's a 4th year topic. So that's what I currently am teaching in the undergraduate program. So my area is really around positive behaviour support and supporting students who have more complex needs, so who might need augmentative and alternative communication, who might have autism, who might have intellectual disability, or might have a combination of those disabilities. So that's me, and that's both my teaching and research areas are focused around teaching and curriculum design for students with complex support needs and also positive behaviour support. So that's me.
Thanks, Julie. Can you just say a little bit about your disability coordinator role? Not the college rep.
Oh, yes. So I am the college disability academic advisor. So if you have an access plan and you are encountering some concerns or around your topics, or you need a little bit of help, you know, approaching your topic coordinators, or if you have any queries around your adjustments that you have on your access plan, then I'm the person that you can come to and I can sort of help you navigate that. If you have any type of health impairment or health difficulty or disability is very broad. It's as defined by the Disability Discrimination Act and the Disability Standards for Education in terms of how it's defined. It's very, very broad. So if you have any type of learning difficulty or health impairment and you need some sort of adjustment to help you get through your program, you have access to a disability advisor who will draw up an access plan for you. If you don't know what that means or how to access the support, you can ask me and I will direct you to the right place.
Thanks, Julie. We did cover the disability access plans a little bit earlier, but it's nice to have that repeated. So thank you. Some of you might be wondering what an undergraduate is, all this new language. An undergraduate is all of you who are studying your bachelor degree, because you haven't yet graduated, you're an undergraduate. So all this new language you'll get used to as we progress through your degrees. So we're running out of time. There are no questions yet posted. Does anybody have any question for me or for the team while we're here? You're quite welcome to type it. You're very welcome to put your hand up and speak.
If you're feeling nervous or stressed or whatever about all the stuff that you have to manage and organise, I'm sure you've probably already talked about this, Carol. Don't worry, because everyone's probably feeling the same. Everyone's feeling the same way. So, you know, just ask. We'll help you.
That's all right. We're very approachable people. Hopefully you're not feeling too overwhelmed. I know I still remember coming to university for the first time, probably because I did it as a mature age student, but it was so overwhelming. We had a lot of paper-based stuff back then. All the paperwork we had to go through. You've got all the we will have email, but also the web pages. So there's a lot of information out there, and I guess the key at the minute is to know that it's there. And so when you get settled in one area, like get your enrollments under control, and I would get onto campus and orientate yourself around the Bedford Park campus, because that's where the majority of your studies are going to be. And really get to know where, the food, you can buy food and coffee and those important things that sustain you across the day. So I encourage you to do that. Now, overnight, we've had an update as to what is now happening on campus. So we keep going from nothing being on campus to being on campus. So we have live music here this week in the plaza or in the hub area. So I encourage you to come and go and visit the hub and listen to the music. And often there's free food, so get free food. There are looks like there's food trucks and retailers there. So looks like there's an opportunity to get some vouchers. Next week, no, that's this week's date. Looks like you get to meet the student ambassadors, so that's important. Campus tours, so there are people that are taking groups of 10 students around, and they're regular, so if you don't have to sort of rush to meet one, they're every 40 minutes. Looks like you can buy merchandise, so we all have face masks with the Flinders logo, so there's something. The Bachelor of Education Student Association also has education wind cheaters and stuff like that, but the reps from that will let you all know. So as you can see, there's lots of stuff happening. So being on campus is a really lively time to be here. So if you can get here, I really encourage you to be a part of that and just navigate your way around. So we're coming up to the end. No one has got any questions at the moment, so that's fine. I can understand that it's pretty overwhelming. Thank you for joining us today. And we look forward to seeing you on campus. And those of the staff that are teaching you as first years, they're really looking forward for you all coming either on campus or into class. And we wish you all the very best for a really wonderful experience here at Flinders, but more importantly, a wonderful experience in our inclusive and specialised education programs. As we've said, they're brand new this year, so if there's any little hiccups that you think we might need to know about, just let us know. We are open to critiquing, so long as it's not a personal critique. We don't like to attack the person. We're not Donald Trumpers here. We come in with facts and we work with those. So we know that there will be changes. We do modify everything most years because we realise that there's always room for improvement. So thanks, Leslie. Yes, all the best for a positive start, and let's hope we all stay COVID free. Thanks, team, for popping in.
A pleasure. Hope you all have a great start, everyone. Enjoy our week.
Yep, same. Enjoy our week. Get to know the place. Best of luck. Hopefully I see you around on campus sometime soon. Thanks, Carol.
Okay. Bye, everybody.